I hope you have unlimited text messaging. By Miss Carr. Chapter 33, Conversation 26. You are not responsible for the stupidity of others, but maybe you should take responsibility for your own stupidity. Anthony, you don't get to decide how somebody else feels about you. Sometimes I wish I could. My childhood would have been a lot easier if I could just make Edward love me. No, man, because I'm not sure if either one of us is ready to dive into your Howard issues. I'm going to ask how your coffee date with POTUS went. Anthony, I'd rather talk about Howard. Nomad, it went that badly. Anthony, even though I brought an adorable 11-year-old who was targeted by xenophobic assholes, he said his hands were tied, that the people wanted these policies and he couldn't go against the will of the people. I am seriously regretting saving his ass right now. Next time his VP tries to kill him, he's on his own. Nomad, he really has awful taste in political appointees. Anthony, putting a warmonger in charge of the State Department is not his finest hour. However, the people under Ross are trying to make sure other governments do not use their enhanced persons as weapons of the state under the peaceful use of enhanced person section of the Accords as they simultaneously ignore their boss. They take their oath to uphold the Constitution and serve the people seriously, regardless of who is in charge. Nomad, I feel like the inner politics there must be awful right now. Anthony, people have countdown calendars. However, I think your suggestion has prevented a similar fate at S.H.I.E.L.D. I met POTUS's previous first choice, Jeffrey something that starts with an M, I think. I can't be bothered to remember. I think as I may have engaged his firm's services after one of my major screw-ups before he went to the government sector, but I can't remember, probably because the major screw-up involved alcohol. Anthony, although not a bastard like your ex, or slightly obsessive and crazy like Ross, I'm pretty sure I will punch him in the teeth if he uses any more PR buzzwords on me. Nomad, you want to do that to me on a regular basis. Anthony, him, I really do want to punch in his perfect teeth. You, I would like to push onto a bed or up against the wall, or any hard surface will do. Nomad, you really need to stop sending messages like that when you're 6,000 miles away and we can't do anything about it. Message not sent. Anthony, I can't deal with people who are more into appearances than anything else. I had enough of that from the Obadiah years. Nomad, how did POTUS react to your suggestion? Anthony, he smiled gleefully when I presented the option of Rhodey as an alternative for S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever they're going to call it publicly. Nomad, at least there's that. Anthony, then Jeffrey, whatever, pointed out the good PR of having a disabled military veteran and member of the enhanced community as head of the agency in charge of dealing with the weird and superpowered. Then he brought up the fact that the president's cabinet is predominantly able-bodied white males and maybe some diversification is necessary. Nomad, wait, you made that suggestion in front of him? Anthony, of course. Rhodey just called to curse me out for nominating him for head of an agency that may or may not actually exist. Nomad, so he doesn't want to be the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Anthony, I don't think that's it, considering he has an interview with Secret Service today. I think he's just mad about me doing something without talking to him first. I'm supposed to talk to him or Laura first before making the big decisions. Apparently, nominating him for the head of an agency in charge of policing us qualifies as a big decision. Nomad, I agree with him on that. Anthony, I mean, it's not like that time I bought a Popeyes franchise at a poker game. Rhodey is still the best choice. No, man, I'm not arguing that, but maybe it's good for you to talk things out with Laura and Rhodey. Anthony, so I don't decide to make murder robots again because I've managed to convince myself it's the best thing for mankind. I agree with that, which is why I haven't tried to undo their supervillain watch that they have me under with Friday's help. No, man, I wasn't going to mention that. Anthony, not talking about it doesn't take away from the fact that it's my fault. I take responsibility for that because my actions led to that. However, your actions did not lead to Howard and Maria getting murdered. No, man, if I had just done something different on the train, then we wouldn't be here. Anthony, that's complete bullshit. Anthony, from what we pieced together, Howard figured out something was wrong and stole the new alien super serum they were working on and was planning to disappear to the Stark family private island before they took him out. I am starting to accept that despite the brutality, the Winter Soldier was just the weapon. Hydra pulled the trigger, and Agent Campbell blew up the first and last leader of Hydra. Anthony, I may never be able to sit down for a slice of pizza with your BFF, but maybe I can start making peace with things. Bitterness is not productive. Nomad, they wouldn't have been able to turn Bucky into their weapon if I didn't let him fall. There wouldn't be blood on his hands, and he wouldn't be where he is now. Anthony, What-if games are dangerous. You can honestly believe that if you made one choice differently, then none of those things would have happened. Maybe some things would have been different, but some things could be quite worse. This is why I don't touch time travel. Nomad, you blame yourself for all the innocent people that were killed with your weapons simply because you didn't question Obadiah Stane earlier. Anthony, because I'm a masochist with a ridiculous guilt complex who has 2 therapists and an alcohol problem. No one should measure themselves against me when it comes to good mental health. I'm sure I told you that we're trying medication. Nomad, you did. Anthony, PTSD and depression and other things mixed in there, along with the substance abuse issues. I'm not okay. I'm nowhere near okay. I tried to murder someone because he killed my mom, but I'm getting better. Anthony, I know we need to talk more about our Bucky issues, but I feel like you have to work out a lot of that stuff yourself. I'm beginning to realize that you didn't say Bucky for his sake, but maybe for your own. I think you should see a therapist. Nomad, I don't need outside help. I realize there's a problem, but I can fix it. Anthony, I think I said something similar, but then Rhodey had to keep me from dying of alcohol poisoning. You're the one who always expounds on the benefits of teamwork. Maybe mental health is a team activity. I think you need to see a therapist because I still think you're suicidal, except in your case, it's suicide by supervillain or terrorist group. Nomad, did Red or Laura show you video files of yesterday's mission? Anthony, it was Red. Yes, you saved 30 people from their captors, but if it wasn't for the new spider fabric, I would be flying your body back here right now. You barely recovered from your wounds from before, but you can't help yourself from running into the metaphorical burning building because in your mind, this is how you make up for not saving Bucky. Would he want you to keep doing this to yourself? Nomad, no. Both Sam and Clint say that I need professional help. Anthony, they are right. You have 2 options. Ask your king friend to recommend a therapist that he trusts that won't sell you out to the UN, or work with Laura. Nomad, how would I work with Laura? Anthony, I give her one of these phones, and you could do text message sessions. You could try voice, but it's easier for Friday to make sure they don't find the text messages. Nomad, actually she already text messaged me an hour ago. I think Friday gave her my information. Anthony, that explains why you asked if Laura was the one who showed me the video file. When my AI becomes concerned, you know things are problematic. Nomad, I thought Friday was not an AI because that's illegal? Anthony, technically, yes, but she's still brilliant. Nomad, and you had her tell me that Melinda Gardner is your handler? Anthony, I figure you would not yell at Friday. She is your favorite. Nomad, I thought we were trying to be honest with each other. That's the whole point of these conversations. Anthony, it wasn't a complete lie. Melinda Gardner is her public identity, the only one she has left after the Hydra fiasco. I just decided to wait a little while before I explained that Agent Scary, Agent May, and your ex-girlfriend are the same person. Nomad, and the fewer people that know the 2 are one and the same, the better? Anthony, exactly. I wanted her permission to tell you first, but then little Miss Marvel is over here decided to press the send button on that particular text message because she ships us. Mostly platonically because she's 11, but she still does. And I don't even want to know how she's figured out Cuddle Bunny is you. Anthony, I meant Marvelous, not Marvelous, but Miss Marvel. Could be a cool superhero codename for when Kamala is 9/11. I'm going to need to work on the voice rec software for this new operating system. Nomad, people ship us? What does that even mean? Anthony, yes, it means that not everyone in the universe thinks you are a paragon of heterosexuality, although stay away from the fanfiction on Freaking Cool. It will just be too weird for you. Anthony, I have to get the babies to the townhouse for a pizza lunch that has already been reheated at least twice. No, man. I'll let you go then. Anthony, but at least promise me you'll think about saying someone. You can't blame yourself for everything. Nomad, neither should you. Anthony, I'm working on it. Maybe you should too.